Oh yeah, I'm back at it again. Alright, so yeah, just got done wrapping up my exhaust manifolds and downpipes. I think they look damn good. Can't wait to get them back on there. Also, when I originally did this fuel pump, when I pulled it out, the little tiny fuel hose they gave you with the fuel pump, that AEM fuel pump I put in, was just a tad bit short. Somebody in the comment section had commented that, you know, it ain't gonna be sitting on the bottom of the tank, and I was kind of thinking the same thing. So last night I ended up pulling that back out and putting just a little bit longer of a hose. This way it sat on the bottom of the tank instead of hovering off the bottom like a ½ inch. I also got my new spark plugs and wires in. That was something else somebody had also commented about, that the plugs I originally was gonna put these NGKs in, and somebody had mentioned, because they seen me holding it, saying, oh, that's a heat range 5, and they recommended I should use a heat range 6 or 7. And I didn't even know spark plugs had a heat range. I really didn't. Like, you know, some things, I mean, I know a lot about mechanics, but there's a lot of things I don't know, you know. So yeah, thanks dude, appreciate that. So I ended up, yeah, swapping out my heat range NGK 5s for the AC Delco heat range 6, but eventually we're gonna get the 7s, because that's pretty much ideal for what I got going on here. Working on my fuel lines now. So the original fuel lines had this protective sleeve over it, which seems like fiberglass with an aluminum like coating on top of it. So the original ones were falling apart. All the aluminum was falling off of it. So I ended up taking some of this aluminum tape I got, I think it's for my ductwork, and yeah, I'm recoating it with this. I'm hoping that actually works out. I also bought this one, but it was only a 3-foot piece, so it only got me so far. So I'm just trying to tool up what I got and use that. Hopefully it works. But yeah, this is my my new fuel line here that I made. My little tee-off for my fuel pressure sensor. And yeah, about to put some of the sleeve on there. That's what I'm doing with this one, so I can put it on here. Okay, so I got those 3 fuel lines on there. Yeah, I'm hoping it's gonna be good. Hopefully the heat don't fuck with them, and yeah, burn this motherfucker down. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I think it'll be all right. You know, between those being coated with that heat shield and then the exhaust manifolds themselves being wrapped, I think it should be all right, hopefully. So I did that EGR delete, I guess you could say, because I pulled the EGR off and I'm not putting it back on. So I got that hole in the intake manifold now from where that went. So I've seen some people online, they'll, you know, order this little plate thing and they just, you know, put a bolt plate on it and block it off. But I figured I would use it for my vacuum lines off of the intake for the blow-off valve. And what else was it? Oh, the boost gauge. So yeah, this is what I did. I ended up chopping off these little tubes off of the EGR valve, and I took the one of these. You know, this is the little mount piece that mounts it to the intake and the exhaust manifold. So I ended up taking this one, I tapped it with a tap, the perfect tap size that just fit in here, and then I have this brass fitting with the barb valve on it, and yeah, it fit in there perfect. I wrapped it with some Teflon tape, and it got all snugged up in there, and I made this. I got this little rubber elbow, and then this goes on here like that. And then, yeah, I got that little T-fitting that came with the boost gauge, so the one T goes off to the boost gauge and the other one goes off to the blow-off valve. Yeah, I'm hoping me using that port for the EGR valve is going to be sufficient enough for it to run the boost gauge and the blow-off valve. I'm hoping, you know. I mean, I really don't know. Like I said, I don't know a lot. You know, I know a good amount about, you know, mechanics and stuff like that, but I don't know everything. So, we'll see how it works. All right, the new little project I'm working on. So I went to the local auto parts store and I was trying to find an actual set of exhaust manifold studs or bolts, but they didn't have a set that was the thread size that I needed for my engine. So yeah, I just had to buy a pack of bolts. I ended up just getting these 5/16 by 18s at 1.5 inches. So they're just a tad bit too long. So I'm chopping a 1/2 inch off of each one, and then I'm taking this hacksaw blade here, and then we're just cleaning up that end thread so we can get it into the car. And then I'm using this little nut here just to make sure the threads are cleaned before we install them. Woo! Oh yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we got the first one in. We're getting there. Gotta put in a couple hours tonight, and yeah, it will be ready tomorrow. All right, let me get that second one in. All right, we got that second one on, and I got my little heat deflection plate down here. I finally found my little nut for it and screw. I got that in. I got my fuel lines all reconnected again and hooked up. So we're pretty much good over here. Now we just got to get them turbos on, which I still got to do some more fucking with them because I took the brackets off when I was trying to get those, the hell they call, the actuators tooled up. So I have to kind of clock them a little bit, but I figured I'll do that once I get them on there. Woo! All right. I got this first one here tightened up and squared up. My custom actuation rod on there. Oh yeah. Just got to do that second one over there. Yeah, then I'm probably going to call it quits for tonight, and then I'll probably mount these tomorrow. So, see y'all then. What is good? And welcome back to the D Struggles YouTube channel. Alright, so I already got started today. And I'm messing around with this turbo. Already got this turbo set and on here. All I got to do is tighten the bolts down, and this one's good. And then hook up, the exhaust for it. Now this one I've been playing around with. I want to try to reset the clock on here because the last time when I was playing with it, I clocked it 10 degrees over. But I think I can reclock it back now because I got this new fitting. So I think I can get it over a little more. Maybe I only have to have it 5 degrees off from straight. So I'm hoping that works out. Also, last week when I was under here, or a couple weeks ago, whatever, I noticed I missed a little bit of a weld right here. That could have been a potential leaker, so I just got done welding that up. It's coming together. I'm hoping to have it together by the end of today. And yeah, hopefully tomorrow I can grab some gas and we can get the first start out of this motherfucker. Alrighty, so yeah, I was messing around. I was trying to get it clocked back, and yeah, I can't. Right now it's a little past 10 degrees, but it's also the car's jacked up. Front is anyway on these ramp stands, so I'm sure it'll get it back down to 10 or 9 degrees once you drop it down. Yeah, I try to adjust it, but down here the bracket for the hell's that thing called again? The actuator is hitting the oil drain fitting. So yeah, I'm stuck in this position. I can't clock it any other way but where it is right now. It's the max I can go. So hopefully that all works out. Yeah, it said in that instructional booklet it came with that turbo just not to exceed 15 degrees on it. So yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be good enough. Should be. I know somebody mentioned in the comments saying something, oh, make sure it's straight up, but I can't. And it also said in the instructions I can keep it at a 15 degree max angle. So that's what we're doing. Got both of the turbos tightened down, awesome. Also got my oil feed flanges tightened down. So that brings us to our next short out the bag look at a part I got. The oil feed lines. So yeah, those are the two I got. One at 24 inches and the other one at 18 inches. It was an eBay purchase. Yeah, one of them was 20 bucks and one of them was $25 pretty much. So originally when I ordered these, that was the price for each line. So when I messaged the guy before I actually placed the order, and I asked him, well, if I order these, can you throw in the what is this, the 4AN to 1/8 NPT fittings? And the guy was great, nice, and he threw them in for me. So what I'm doing right now is I'm about to take this Teflon tape over here, and yeah, we're gonna get these fittings in my sandwich plate and this little cap, because I got 3 holes in here, so I'm only using 2 of them. And yeah, then we're gonna get that sandwich plate installed with these oil feed lines. Oh yeah! Hoo, hoo, hoo. I was doing was knocking that in. So I had a little gap there because it was hitting it. And yeah, I didn't want it to hit it. Yeah, see how I got it kind of curved down now. This way, it's got a little wiggle room. And when I guess the engine is tweaking, when I'm gassing the shit out of it. We got the sandwich plate with the oil feed lines all hooked up in there with the oil filter on it. Also, we got our oil return lines connected in there too, all tightened up, ready. We're almost there. Oh yeah, almost. Just gotta get the down pipes on there, hook the exhaust pipes up, and what else? Yeah, and get the bumper back on, hook up the 2 bottom intercooler piping, and I think she's done. The only thing I don't have is the 2-inch T-clamps from the turbos to the intercooler piping. That's the only thing I forgot to order. So I'm gonna try to go over tomorrow to Northern Tool and pick 2 of them up. Got my custom exhaust strap brackets all painted up and ready to reinstall. Got them down pipes in. Also, we got the O2 sensors tightened in and the wideband sensors down here tightened in. All right, we got the hot side intercooler piping back on. Oh yeah, the only thing I need is the 2-inch clamps to clamp from the 2.5 to the turbo. All right, so now we got to tool up this 3-inch intercooler pipe. So yeah, when I cut this thing, now there's no bead on it. So learned this little trick from YouTube. Got me these, so we're gonna take this. It's got that little divot in there, and we're gonna crimp a bead around this pipe here so our clamp has something to snug on. Slow and steady wins the race. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see that. It might be shady, but coming along. Oh yeah, that's a nice bead, and it took me less than 5 minutes. I pulled my blow-off valve off, so I want to take it apart and inspect the inside before we install it for good, because I also want to make sure, because in the box here it came with extra O-ring and this extra spring, and I want to make sure the softer spring is in there. So I mean, this one feels pretty soft, so just want to make sure the one that's in here is softer than this one, because if it ain't, then we're gonna stick this one in there. Alright, well, there it is, and yeah, this definitely looks like a softer spring. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell the difference. Look how much thicker that one is than that one. That's awesome. So yeah, let's also look in here, make sure everything's nice and clean. A little bit of oil in there. Looks good, no shavings. Check the diaphragm out. That all looks good. Yeah, it's seated in there nice. I don't even want to disturb it, so it all looks clean. I don't see any like metal shavings or anything that might mess it up, so pop it back together. All right, so she looked good. Now let's get her back in the pipe and back on the car. Just put my blinker lenses back into the bumper. Yeah, I got my bottom exhaust on. I got this 3-inch intercooler going into the throttle, all tightened up and good to go. Yeah, I fit it one filter as this placed on. I'll take that off. But the big issue I'm having right now are these fucking V-band clamps. I mean, I got that thing tightened all the way, and all it did was stretch right here. Yeah, all it did was, look at that, it's stretching and pulling off the side. It doesn't matter how tight I tighten them. I mean, this one's, I guess because I stretched it, it's really fucked up. But you know, this one I got a little snug. I mean, but they still move. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the fuck's going on here, but I don't know. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty much we're good to go here. Just yeah, I gotta put oil in it, fill the transmission up, check the rear end, and yeah, put that front bumper back on. Just yeah, and the exhaust. I just gotta get the V-band on the damn downpipe and my exhaust tips and stuff put on after I get the bumper on, and that's it. And the upper radiator hose, everything else is on. It's all good. Yeah, that really upsets me, that the downpipe, the V-band right there. Oh, alright, well, I'm gonna try to figure that out. Go look on some forum pages, some YouTube. You know how it goes. But yeah, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. It's late, it's like after 12, and I'm tired, a little hungry, so I'm gonna go upstairs, eat a little bit, take me a shower, and get cracking on it again tomorrow. Oh yeah.